Good day, everyone. Today I'll be teaching you about how to install Kali Linux and how to get yourself familiar with the Kali Linux command line and the operating system as a whole. Now, for those of you that are new to Kali Linux, don't worry. This is going to be a very preparatory course or like an introductory session to how to use Kali Linux and the basic commands that you will come across with as time progresses. Now, mind you, I won't go deeper into Kali Linux as I will leave that for the program Tech 12. So make sure you attend that program as you cover every aspect of ethical hacking, app development, web development, Python, game development, and more. So you're going to head over to this website, https kali.org. Then you should get Kali platforms. I'll post this on the website on our WhatsApp group. Sorry, I'll post it on our WhatsApp group so you can head over there and install your Kali Linux virtual machine. Now, with that said, let's go over to virtual machine. So we're going to be using Oracle VirtualBox. So let's go over to this on our website that we call virtualbox.org. So I need you guys to go over there. I'll also drop the link in the WhatsApp group. So virtualbox.org wiki downloads. So this is where you get your virtual Oracle box. Now for you guys using Windows, you'll see your Windows host here button. So you can download VirtualBox for Windows. So this is my VirtualBox application here. So you can download it on, or if you're using Mac, you can download. If you're using a Linux operating system as well, you can also get VirtualBox for your Linux. Now, because I have the two installed, so let's go over virtual machine. Then you click on it. Then I should also note if you're using this Oracle VirtualBox, you should make sure that you click VirtualBox, so you download it for VirtualBox. So you go here and click on this download button. Another thing I should mention is that if you should also have this Oracle VirtualBox extension pack. So you need to go to Google. I won't show you how to do that. You need to go to Google and download this Oracle VirtualBox extension pack from Google. Now with that, let's move on. After your VirtualBox has been installed and you set it up, because the setting up doesn't need any much walkthrough, just clicking OK, OK, OK till it's done. Okay, now let's remember that extension pack I told you to download earlier. Yeah, it will be really useful. So you need to go to tools here on your after installing your VirtualBox. Click on this three line icon beside it. Then you go to extensions. So you make sure you install your extension. So you go to where you downloaded your extension, click on it, and then voila, you're done with that part. So now let's go to the main part of installing your Kali Linux operating system or start using it. Now you need to click on this new, or you can add a VirtualBox. Okay, let me use new. Now you have to select your ISO file. That's what you downloaded before. So this is not Kali Linux, it's my macOS virtual machine, but you have to select the one you downloaded. Then you name your virtual machine, anything you want to name it, and then you press finish. Now that's done, you see it appear here. So let's go ahead and set the machine, give it adequate settings. Now here we'll head over, we click on the machine, head over to settings, and we'll just run through this part very quickly. Now when the setting is shown up, you should go to you should go to system, and you see the motherboard here. Now you see something called a base memory. You have to make sure you give it a minimum of 2 gig, which is 2000 MB. So you put 2 gig, maybe 5 gig, but make sure you don't exceed or go to the red limit. After that is done, you have to go to processor. So on that same place where motherboard is, and you make sure that you change your processors from one processor to minimum of two processors. Okay, now let's go to display. Now for display, you have to go your screen and make sure the video memory is at the highest. So you want to give your Kali Linux a high video memory. Now when that's done, you go ahead and click OK. Then you start your VirtualBox. So this will be a start button. But since I already have it started, let me go ahead and pull it up. Okay, now I have my Kali Linux open. This is how you will see it for the first time. Now, after downloading, you don't need to worry about password or your username. By default, your username is Kali and password as well is Kali. So that's how you'll be able to access your Kali Linux. Go ahead. Okay, so now let's go to our desktop and you see that you have your Kali Linux installed. If you have reached this place, you know that you've successfully gotten your Kali Linux operating system and you're ready to begin the ethical hacking course that starts next year. So please don't miss it. It will be a very exciting one. So now let's go through the basic commands we have in Linux so as to prepare yourself and give you a little bit of knowledge on what is to come. So let's go ahead and open our terminal. Yeah, let's make this a little bit bold. Control Shift plus plus. Control Shift, then that plus button to make it zoomed in. Zoom in so you guys can see it well. Now you have this like this. We can start with the basic one, like who am I? Okay, caps lock is on so it's so who am I shows you who you are. So it's like not like who you are as a person, but who your system is. So what is the name of my system? That's what is literally telling the terminal. So who am I? I am Kali. But and now I'm on my normal user, so I'm not root. So I don't have root privilege. So if I type root, you see I don't have root privilege. So it's denying me permission. So I have to do privilege escalation, which I won't touch now. So another basic command that you have seen me use is a clear command. Clear is to clear the terminal. So when you write that command clear and hit enter, it makes sure the whole terminal is cleared for you to use so as not to make the place look clustered and you forget what you're doing easily. So especially when you're doing a penetration test that you need to have multiple terminals open to look so messed up and you understand what you're doing at all. Now there's another command named ls. Ls is to check the active directories of files inside current path. Now this path that you're seeing here is called tilde. Yeah, tilde. That's the name of this path. So now we are looking for any directory. Is now this ls is like a question. Is there any file or directory inside this path? And if it is yes, it will return the directory. So this okay, it's too big. Let me reduce zoom so you can all see me well. Okay, this is looking much more better for everyone to see. Now I want to make it clear. Now this is ls. Now I've explained what ls is. It checks if there's files or directories inside a particular path. Now let us see the difference between each of these files are this one now it's an executable. This is an exe file, this is a VBS file, this is an executable, and this is a file. Now, what differentiates them from directories are shown in blue tick, like bold fonts. So you will know that this is a directory and this is a file. And also another way to distinguish them is that they have a file, they have a .vbs. That's a like the .vbs now is distinguishing this executable from a directory. Now moving on, let's look at another command. So I'm not sure we will not clear our terminal now. Look at another command named cd. Cd is used to or is a command used to move that is used to move through your whole machine. So like you're moving through files. So if I say cd and I call desktop, so I know that desktop is a directory under this, so I can move from tilde to my desktop. So cd desktop, and you see tilde desktop. So desktop is a directory inside tilde. So I've moved to it using cd. So that's how you move from files. So if I see ls, I can see the files that are inside desktop, no more tilde anymore. So I've moved into desktop. Now to move back to tilde, we can use something called cd dot dot. So this dot dot is responsible for moving one step back a directory. So when you move one step back, it means it will remove desktop and go back to tilde. So let's try this out. And see it's back to tilde. Before it was at desktop, now it's in tilde. So if we do ls to confirm, see we now have the files that were in tilde. Now let's also talk about in command. So let me use my clear command once more to clear my terminal. Then I'll also talk about um, another command named make dir or make directory. So now we have a directory. Let's say ls, and we see all these are directories. Now let's make a new directory. So I'll say make dir. So this is the command for making directory, mkdir. So make a directory named maybe scam operation 2. So I have scam operation already, but I'm making a second version. So mkdir scam operation 2. Now if I check ls, I'm able to see my scam operation 2 show up here. So remember, before we run this command, we did not have a scam operation 2. But after the command, we now had a scam operation 2, which means it has successfully created a new directory. Now let's also try another one. Name, let me make another directory, make their um, first file. So if I hit ls, and I'll see my personified show up here. So this my personified has been made as a directory. Now here is looking too clustered. I'm seeing a lot and lots and lots of directories inside my tilde path. Now let's go ahead and remove some because some of them are just not in use. So another command is remove directory. Now rm is remove. So we can use rm on its own to remove a file, which I don't want to remove. So let me try payload of VBS. I'm not really using this payload anymore. So now if I check ls, remember I've removed the payload of VBS. Now I should not be able to see this after I run ls again. So now I see my payload.vbs has been deleted permanently. So let's go ahead and rmdir to remove directory and then call my directories. I want to remove these 3 directories. So I have to remove each of them one after the other. Let's move inc remove enterprise moved. So what I've done is I've removed this directory, and where's the enterprise directory and this directory. So if I run ls, sorry, I will find out that the codex is not there, the inc is not there, the enterprise is not there. Now let me also show you this trick that you can use. Very helpful. Now to make a directory, now we'll go back to the make dir, and if your directory has more than one name, say like my company name, codex inc enterprise, you see that this has 3 names. So your name, you can say you want to make a directory name um, cracked password because you'll be doing more penetration testing. So you need to have real life folders, cracked passwords. Now you want this to be your folder to save all the cracked passwords that you have. Now when you hit enter, it will run without error. But if you check it in your folder, so ls, you find out that you have cracked as a directory on its own and passwords as a directory on its own, which we don't want. We want cracked and passwords to be the same. But this is helpful when you want to make 2 different of or 100 different directories at once. So cracked a directory password, but we want cracked and password to be the same in one directory. So what do? Let's run clear. So clear the terminal. Now this is what we do. We have to do make there. So call our from this thing, our command. Then the cracked password, which is the name of the file we want to save, we'll wrap it around the quotation mark. So use quotation marks. then wrap it round. Now when we hit enter, we'll see that if you do ls, cracked passwords now are saved inside as one directory. So it's no more space like this, cracked and passwords on part. So we have cracked passwords as a. Now we know how to move to directory cd. So let me move to Seekploit here. You can see it's here. So I want to move to Seekploit. Okay, I got the spelling wrong. So Seekploit. Now I'm in the Seekploit folder. Remember, it's inside. So I cannot go to a folder outside the Seekploit. So if I say ls, I'll see these are the files inside my Seekploit folder, which are Seekploit. You guys will learn it later how to carry out SS7 protocol attacks, which will be done later in the Tech 12 program. So it's going to be massive. You're going to learn a lot. So let's go back one step back out of here and let's then see our folders that we have. Okay, so now another thing I want to also mention is let's go to what we call a ping. So we're done with all this normal um, um, terminal and the code. So now let's move on to what we call ping. Ping is used to check for connections. So if you can reach a connection like google.com, if you can have a connection with a particular IP address, so ping sends packets to that IP or the DNS and in return gets packets. So okay, to my wired network, should be some error in network again. Okay, now I've had I connected to internet before I didn't have connect to internet. That's why it was showing the temporary failure in name resolution. So now let's go ahead and ping google.com. You can go ahead and pick any website you want to ping, and it will in return show the IP address of that network or the website. So I've pinged google.com and it shows me that. So 172.2.286. Now let me ping my own address. So there's a way to get your IP address. This is another terminal code like Control Shift plus 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 plus. Now let's use a command name called IPA. So it's a command to get your IP address. Sorry, IPA. Now it will show you your IP address of your operating system. Now you see 10.47.79.132. So you can copy it and then go ahead and carry out a ping scan. So say ping and instead of google.com, paste the IP address. So paste the selection and then you ping. So you see it's sending an ICMP. This is a protocol. ICMP protocol. I won't touch that now. We'll touch that when we start learning in our Tech 12 classes. So 10 packets were transmitted, which is here 10. So it stopped at 10. 10 packets received and there was 0 packet loss. So if you want to analyze this later I'll teach you guys how to analyze packets on Wireshark. You'll be able to see that a TCP port was sent. Okay, so you can use Wireshark later. I won't talk about that now. So now I also want to mention a GUI version of ZenMap. Oh, sorry, of Nmap. Nmap is used for network enumeration, for scanning, for reconnaissance, basically to check if an IP address or a network or a system has open ports. Then from there you carry on with your attacks, whether SMB, TCP, and the likes of that. Now I will just show you the command because now we're learning about commands, so why not? So we have a command named Zenmap. Zenmap brings up the GUI version of Nmap. which is actually if you become more advanced in your hacking career, you won't be using ZenMap again. Like because when you upgrade, you see that ZenMap doesn't allow, doesn't give all these tools like Nmap. So you see that it brings out the GUI version. So ZenMap GUI. GUI means graphical user interface. People that are coming from the programming side, you know what GUI is. And even if you don't understand, we are still going to teach you in Python and in app and web development. So we got you covered. Now let's go back to that. So go back to Nmap and we see that these are GUI version um, of Nmap. So now let's try. Let's just say Nmap then dash dash help. So we can see all the commands that Nmap offers. You can do SC, Nmap FC is system version, SV system version. Then you can also use custom scripts for like this now. A script is default. So that's the default script we're using. You can use a script of SMB um, enum, that's SMB enumeration, SMB vulnerability, SMB operating system, that's SMB OS. So basically now script is in default, that's SC, then SV is for system version. So you're probing the open ports to determine system version info. Like Nmap is so wild, is a growing. We have netcat, so we have ncat. So this is another command. You also use ncat, you have RPC clients. It's really, really wild. So you have different things. We talk about the Kerberos. So all these will be talked about later in course. So I really hope to see you guys in the course. Okay, yeah, before I go, let me talk about privilege escalation. Basically, when you are when you are um, a legal or authorized user in that system. So you can escalate privileges from a normal user, which remember when we started, we did who am I? Let's go back to that and we see we are Kali. But when we escalate privileges using sudo su, now sudo is a command to use when you are not root. So when you're not root, you're asking for permission to run a specific application, specific command that normally should be run by root users, but you're asking for permission. When you ask for permission, obviously you need to use the password. So use your password and then you have escalated the privileges from Kali to root. Now let's go and do one my own small and you see your normal Kali. So who am I? Kali here. Who am I? Root. So this is basically like a great one to do. So let's for me open left right. So let me change password. So to change my password of my Linux device, I say password. That's PASSWD, and I'll name it whatever I want. So I'll still name it Kali. Current password for Kali. Okay. Current password Kali and then new password Kali. I don't want to forget it, so I'll just leave it at that. So Kali password has not been changed. Okay. And now I'm not putting a new password, so I'll exit that. So exit that now. But later you can change your password by using the PASSWD. So I really hope you understood this lesson and more will be coming before the class starts. Just on other subjects, to get the programs downloaded and stuff like that. So it will be really helpful in the later courses. So thank you for your time and bye.